Hi, my name is Dan, and this is Engelgeist. Thank you for watching my channel. This is the October Tarotscopes for the sign of Scorpio, my lovely, sexy Scorpio friends. So all my Scorpio viewers, if you have a sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Scorpio, this is your video. If it turns into a love video where it's about love video, if it turns into a love video, don't worry people, I am gonna leave my clothes on, okay? So even if it turns into a love video, the clothes are going to stay on. If it turns into a love video, then people with Venus in Scorpio, they may want to watch. If your Venus is in Scorpio. If your penis has been in a Scorpio recently, you may want to go to the STD clinic though. Our little friend Sven is come by to visit. So he might be helping us today. I hope you like a little pussy in your video because I'll leave it to the sign that rules sex, death, and regeneration to have a little pussy in their video. Okay, so I am gonna get to shuffling the cards to see what October has in store for y'all. Sven is probably gonna knock over the camera. It's always a blessing when Sven photobombs your video. He only has photobombed, he seems to only be doing the water signs this month. He photobombed Cancer, but nobody else. So it must be a water sign thing for Sven this time. I don't know. So he's come to say hello to all my Scorpio viewers. And you guys, just so you know, I am on Instagram now. Grandpa has joined Instagram. If you want to give him a little love, you could follow him at Engelgeist333. You could come over, watch his pictures, like them, heart them, push his wheelchair around and hand him his meds. I'd greatly appreciate that. Also, if you want to support me and the channel, please like, share, comment, subscribe. If you do hit the subscribe button, make sure to be like Anita Ward and ring my bell so that you can get a notification every time I go live. Yeah, baby. Why am I feeling all frisky all of a sudden? Maybe it was Sven's little drive-by. Maybe it's the fact that it's Scorpio that I'm doing. I wish I was doing a Scorpio. Y'all know what you're doing in that department, don't ya? You little tramps. Anyways, so let me just see what is in store in the month of October for my Scorpio babies. So this first card that's going to come out is sort of going to be the general you card of the month, sort of like the, your default setting, where you're going to be at most of the month. The gist of the month is sort of the idea, the overall outlook for the majority of you Scorpios. Now, mind you, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, this is a broad spectrum reading, so it's going to be sort of broad. If things fit for you, great. If they don't, that's okay. There's many other great readers on YouTube, but this is your month. This is the card for your month. This is actually, it's funny, you guys, I just said you guys are the sign that rules sex, death, and regeneration. And your opening card is the Sage of Cups, which is a beautiful card. It's a water card. Cups deals with the element of water. You guys are a water sign, even though you don't want to admit it. You like to be the fieriest of the water signs. My personal viewpoint of Scorpios is you guys tend to be sort of the one water sign that wants to pretend that you're fire. Like you're trying to convince everybody that you're fire, but you're really not. You really are a water sign. And when you embrace that and you own that, I think that's when you guys really come into your true power. And so you guys do rule sex, death, and regeneration. And so you kick off the month, or your gist of the month is read the Regenerator card. It's about healing oneself, regenerating, kind of recuperating, coming back together and really getting back into that element of your emotions, becoming aware of your emotions and how they work for you or against you. The Sage of Cups is sort of a learning phase or sort of studying, figuring out those things and healing some of the emotional stuff that maybe you've been going through in the recent past. But I'm gonna say this: it is a very healthy card, and it's a nice. My feeling from this card as I'm looking at it is it feels like October is going to be a nice sort of transitionary month for the Scorpios, for you guys to sort of grow up a little bit in your emotions, feel a little bit healed, feel like you're getting a little lift up or just a boost in how you've been feeling lately. This card to me feels very positive, very healing, and regenerative, which is what you guys know about. It's part of your magic, okay? The next card is the foundation card, and I call it the foundation card, meaning like it's the card from the past, sort of the foundation for why the cards are the way that they are today, or this month, this coming month, which is October. So this card will tell me a little bit about what has been going on in the recent past that would lead us to what's going on in October. This is the Seven of Worlds. This is the breakthrough card. Okay, remember when I said Scorpios like to be like fire? Look at this card. I mean, let me just hold this up here just to show you guys. There's an exploding volcano. And the horse is a symbol of power. So to me, this says like maybe my Scorpios have been a little angry of recent, a little bit pushy of recent, especially out in the material world, maybe fighting a little harder for the things that they want. And these are the breakthroughs that you've been needing to have. You might be having these breakthroughs, even though they are surrounding anger or sort of fiery nature, intense energy experiences that you've been going through. What's happening is that this month of October, things are cooling off. I mean, if you look at the reds here and then you look at the blues here, it definitely tells me that whatever has been sort of on your nerves, agitating you, whatever you've been going after and trying to grab hold of, it feels like you finally either have gotten it or you've let it go. The pursuit of it, you've let it go, and now it's time to sort of cool down and heal and reacclimate back into your more steady emotional self. Versus this, to me, Worlds is similar to Pentacles. It deals with finances, the home, jobs, career, relationships, that sort of thing. So to me, this feels like maybe those things have been a little bit crazy of recent. We've maybe been a little bit more intense than we've needed to be of recent, and we're finally starting to chill out. We're getting things to a place in October where we can kind of, throughout the month of October, cool down, regenerate, and take care of ourselves, focus on ourselves versus focusing, say, maybe on the outside world and what's going on around us that we don't necessarily like or have to fight against. Does that make sense? And I think that because of that, it does have that emphasis of a breakthrough where we're realizing we can let some of these things go that don't serve us or that don't that aggravate us or that aren't working in our favor. Now the next card is the soul or spirit card. This card tells me where your soul or spirit is at in all of this, what it's working on, what it's trying to get accomplished in the month of October. So this is the Seven of Crystals. This is dullness. And to me, crystals is the air element. Not to me, that's exactly what it is. It's the air element. It's the element of intellect, right? The mind. And to me, there's a block there that it looks like your soul is working on. There's something, this is part of this breakthrough that's happening. There's something old in your mind, some sort of old way of thinking, some sort of old way of feeling. There's old anger, old pain, sadness, that sort of thing, that maybe you guys have been holding back on. And this could be for like a very long time, is my feeling for a lot of you. I feel like that's what this Regenerator Cup, Regenerator Sage of Cups card is it's about learning, having had this breakthrough. It's no longer working. The soul wants us to address this stuff that we have stuffed for so very long. And we're having a breakthrough and we are regenerating, and emotionally we are going to bring that stuff to the surface, look at it, heal it, and let it go. And this dullness, this sort of blockage is going to leave us in the month of October, or the majority of us, if we choose to sort of do the work and have give ourselves the relief, right? And sometimes I believe it's hard for Scorpios to want to give yourself relief. You guys give yourself a sort of hard a hard ruler to measure by, in a sense. Like, I feel like you guys are the most sort of the water signs, you guys can be very critical of yourselves. And so, I mean, I think all the water signs can be very critical. Everybody can be very critical, I guess. But Scorpios, to me, can be sort of a little bit mean to themselves, like in a sort of, like, I don't know how I want to put it, like, in a sort of sadistic kind of way. You can also be mean to others in that way too. But to me, this is about like sort of letting that down, letting that guard down, breaking up some of that old, those old memories, those old feelings, or those old thoughts, those old patterns, those old ways of thinking that don't serve us anymore, and healing them in the month of October so that we can regenerate, so that we can start anew, so that we can have these breakthroughs really solidify and not be as sort of upset or bothered by what's going on around us. Now, the next two cards are what I call the outside influences. These are the cards that tell me a little bit about sort of what's going on, what's influencing us from the outside, right? So this can be people, events, sometimes energies or belief systems that we've learned along the way in life that don't necessarily belong to us, but we live by them even though they're not us, they were taught to us essentially, right? So these are the things we want to be aware of in the month of October. So one is the Eight of Wands, which is harmony. I love that this card is present because this card says to me that there is opportunity coming at you from the universe or from like outside influences, from your environment. Your environment may have not been very kind to you of recent, or you maybe have been fighting it in the recent past. And as you begin to stop fighting it and cool down and start to look inside and deal with some of this stuff and removing some of this stuff and healing, harmony, this path to harmony is going to open up. It might be a long road, but there is like some beauty, some peace to be had in the month of October for the Scorpios if you guys allow it and you choose to sort of, relax and take care of yourself, right? Like let go of, like bring your focus towards yourself and your own healing and not towards like what's wrong or off about the world, right? The other outside influence is the Five of Worlds. Interesting, this is the setback card. So to me, this feels like we have two routes that we can go the month of October. We have two different influences that are heavily like apparent and obvious. Both have a flair to them. One is blue and cool, similar to the Sage of Cups. One is red and on fire and a setback, similar to this sort of breakthrough attitude that we had. There are going to be some of you, this is what this is saying to me, is there are going to be some of you that are a little bit hard-headed or more stubborn that are in it to like sort of feel a little bit more pain, a little bit more struggle, a little bit more setback because you're not willing to let go and do this deeper work. If you don't do this with deeper work, you will end up repositioning yourself and you're going to have to face this deeper work sooner or later. Okay, guys, I'm just going to be honest and upfront with you. This dullness card sitting in the center is a block and it needs to be addressed. So my feeling is some of you may actually pull out your sort of emotional selves and do the work and choose this route of harmony that's made available to you. It's a spiritual card. It's the Eight of Wands and it's moving you. You have the strength to take yourself along the path to this place of harmony, right? But some of you are going to be stuck more in that, no, I don't have time. I've got to work. This fucking shit is pissing me off. Excuse my language, but that's sort of what I'm hearing in my head. It's sort of got that attitude to it. It's sort of like this similar, like staying stuck in these sort of similar ideas of being struggling against everything that's going on with our environment and kind of having to fight against it. We're going to maybe sort of experience some of those, or there might be opportunities where those things arise in our environment. But here's the thing, they're arising so that they can reposition us in our world, right? The question is how much do we choose to focus on them? Do we lean into them and focus on trying to get to this place of harmony and suffer the setbacks and let things go with ease and grace? Or do we fight everything and go like, how dare they say that to me? Or how dare they take that from me? And we stay in this sort of fiery, blocked place. We don't want to. The option here is to heal, to be open, to be regenerative, and to find harmony. These cards actually say to me that you have an opportunity for a very beautiful healing to happen in the month of October if you so choose to pursue it. But some of you might be so sort of set in your ways or thinking that if you do let down your guard, that's going to, or if you do heal, that's going to make you vulnerable in some way. And that's not the truth. I think the truth is, and I say this all the time, the truest form of strength is found in vulnerability. When we can truly be vulnerable, that's when we know that we're at our strongest point. And for you guys, October will be a month, a pivotal month in finding out whether or not you will be able to be vulnerable and be able to focus on your healing and seeking out harmony, releasing this blockage of dullness and these old emotions that sort of have kind of been sitting there for a while now, I feel like. Or you might end up, looking at these setbacks. And let me tell you this, just because the harmony card is here doesn't mean that if you pursue the harmony and you do the healing, there may be a few setbacks. But if you stay in that mindset of healing and seeking harmony, these setbacks are going to be a lot less worse than if you're upset and angry and bothered by everything, right? So if we're focusing on the negative, we're going to see these setbacks and they're going to like sort of be big and bigger than they need to be, right? So it is sort of like, where are we going to position ourselves emotionally, mentally in the month of October? It's very key for the Scorpios, okay? Now, this last card is the potential outcomes card. And what I mean by potential is this card sort of is where things are naturally going to head with the energy the way it stands right now in the cards. It does not mean it's set in stone. We have free will, we have free choice. We are allowed to sort of make changes and choices all the time that affect the outcomes of things. But what I want to say is that this card is telling me a little bit, giving us a little insight into where things are at this point in time naturally heading. If this is a positive card, that's great. We don't have to do much to change it. We probably just need to pursue our healing and harmony the month of October to have it, come to pass. If it is something that's negative or something that we don't really want to have be the outcome of the month of October, we do have free will. We can make the choices and changes right now and use this as a warning to sort of avoid this card coming to pass. So I don't want anybody living for this as an outcome, but this is where things are going. I love it. So this is the Six of Wands, guys. I'm just going to show you this just so you don't believe me. It says trust. This is the trust card. So, are we going to trust our emotions? Are we going to trust our healing? Are we going to trust our ability to heal? Are we going to trust that we are able to find harmony in this world? This says to me that the majority of you are going to seek and look for something better. The majority of you are going to rely on your friends, rely on your social networks, rely on the people that love you or that you love, and maybe trust them amongst also the aspect of trusting yourself and allowing yourself this opportunity to heal. I do love this though. As I'm looking, we have like blue, red, blue, and then blue again, and then red, right? As far as the color palette. This color palette to me is a mixture of both the red and blue. So I love that we're not necessarily letting go of our sort of quote unquote fiery Scorpio nature or our emotional sort of self, our strength, or what we think is our Scorpio strength of being kind of like able to stand up for ourselves and that sort of thing. You don't have to necessarily give that up, but you can become trusting in the world around you, trusting in your own spirit, trusting in your own emotions, trusting in the fact that you deserve the harmony, you deserve the peace, and it's ready in time to let go of some of these thoughts that have kept you sort of penned in a corner and stuck in a rut, right? And so as we let go of those things, it feels a little bit unknown because we're used to relying on certain ways of behavior or certain ways of acting that maybe have not always been to our benefit. We felt as though they've gotten through previous situations and maybe have worked then. But as we age or as times change, they're no longer working. We want more. We want to heal and we want harmony. So we're going to have to trust that. And by the end of the month, we will be in a place, or the majority of us will be in a place where we are able to trust that. And we will be able to move in a sort of spiritual direction or in a direction that leads us more towards this place of harmony versus this place of sort of setback and what's wrong in the world. If those of us that do stay in this setback and stay in this negativity, that's okay. This setback card is always a repositioning, right? It's always like similar, like it's like, to me, this card represents like a small tower experience. We have to let go of something before something new can come in, but we have to suffer a little bit in the letting go of it, right? And I always believe that the tower is not a bad card. The tower is a card that tells us it's time to let go, right? And sometimes if we fight it, that's when it becomes painful. It's similar in this setback situation, except that it's, a smaller version of that, or there's multiple small setbacks, right? So if you do experience setbacks in the month of October, there's going to be an opportunity to either focus on them and get really pissed, or not focus on them. Choose harmony and trust that you're going to be okay. And by month's end, that trust will be strong within you. And you have to trust your spirit, trust your soul. It will carry you through all of this. And if you do this work, there's going to be a release and a weight lifted off of you that is going to be amazing, right? And I'm not saying it's all going to happen like that in the month of October, but this is the beginning of that. And this process may take a few months, but as you begin to shed these layers that I see here in the soul space, as you begin to let those go, you will get lighter and lighter. Life will get brighter and brighter, and you will move towards this idea of harmony in bigger and better ways. Now, if any of you Scorpios want more details or a more specific reading to just yourself, I do private readings, and they can be booked. You can message my business page on Facebook, and all of that stuff is linked up in the corner of the front page on the YouTube channel. So if you want, you can find my link tree too. That's also on the front page of this video on the thumbnail. So you can look that up online, and that will lead you to all the places where you can reach me. You can definitely comment if you have any questions. Please come back mid-month and let me know how your experiences are going. Are you going through any sort of emotional changes? Are you releasing anything that's holding you back? Are you able to see the path to harmony and trust yourself and your spirit a little bit more to take you there? Or are you, getting caught in the negative, and only seeing the negative? Sometimes readings help to steer you out of that. So if you're interested in a private reading, feel free to reach out to me. Have a great October. Please like the video. And I wish you guys the best in the most healing October that you can have for yourself. And I will see you guys at the next video. Have a great day. Bye.